Come to Sonoma Raceway, they said. It'll be fun, they said. So first time at Sonoma Raceway, guys. This place is so cool. I mean, the facilities are top notch. It's highly encouraged you get a garage, so I did actually get a garage this time. I'm actually running to get some supplies because I forgot a couple of things at home. If the audio and video sounds or looks a little different, it's because I forgot my camera in my other car, which is not at home. It's a hot mess. So, so hopefully you guys can hear and see me okay. But it's beautiful out here. I'm gonna get you guys a shot of the facilities and what my surroundings look like. It looks like a real professional raceway. It's no wonder why a lot of Formula teams come here to test their cars. So we're gonna finish getting ready. I'll show you the paddock and some of the stuff around us. Real quick, here's where we are set up. I'm on the track in 8 minutes for my first session, so I got to get ready, and then I'll show you guys some more stuff after the session. Wow, what a racetrack. This place is so much fun, and I didn't really get enough time to go over this with you guys because the sun rises a little later in the day now, and the gates didn't open in time for me to get a good clean video for you guys. But anyways, the premise behind Sonoma and why so many people fear this racetrack is because of the walls. And I've got to be honest with you, I avoided Sonoma for a while because I wanted to make sure I had enough experience under my belt, and I came in with a car that I'm very familiar with before I came to this racetrack. The walls are super close to where the track tracks out. So the track tracks out, there's a tiny little patch of dirt, and then there's a wall. So that's why, I mean, they say, kind of jokingly, but they say that the walls here at Sonoma have magnets in them because cars have a tendency to go into the wall. So one of the most important lessons that I learned earlier on is your car goes where your eyes go. So I put special emphasis on that when I was going out for the very first time. My goal for today was to do low 150s. Below 155, I kind of expected to be there. I would have been thrilled to get to 152. My first session out, I'm already at 153, and I'm just totally dumbfounded. There were a couple of Code Brown moments there just because this is an all new track to me. I've never been here before. Anything below 2 minutes is considered fast, especially considering how unnerving the track can be, especially for first timers. But 153.75, I believe, was the time. I am so happy with that. And I want to show you guys something in my car, a little special treat that I brought in today that I'm actually testing out today. Come check it out. Okay, so here's my regular Solo 2 DL. This is my lap timer. It's what I've been using. I actually paired this up with the Smarty Cam, which is also made by AIM. I'm not using that Smarty Cam today. I'm actually using my GoPro, or one of my GoPros, and I've got, for the very first time and highly hyped, that is the Garmin Catalyst. So that is an all new device on the market. I brought my Solo 2 DL and the new Garmin Catalyst out today to kind of test against each other, because I know there's a lot of confusion as to how they differ, and I'm going to go over that with you guys today. All right, so I want to show you guys real quick the Garmin Catalyst and what separates this from the AIM Solo 2 or any other typical timing device. So let me go back to the main screen here. So you can pull this off. It's magnetic off the mount, and it comes off. Now it's just like an iPad. Then you can go to review. This is my last session. Okay, and then anything in bold are opportunities. Those are places that I can improve. Now this is going to change on the fly. The quicker you get, or the place whenever you change something one place, it might open up other opportunities in other parts of the track. So for now, I have 3 main opportunities, and just for an example, there's my best of 153.76, my theoretical best of 152.46. If you go to opportunities, I'm not going to go through all this because there's a lot of other videos explaining all this, but the point is, see, it shows you how you can change your line a little bit, where you can start getting on the gas sooner, where you should be braking sooner or later, etc, 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 braking, apex, speed, all that stuff. So here's the main point. Does the Solo, the AIM Solo, do the same thing? Yes and no. The AIM Solo gathers this data that I have on here, and then you have to have a laptop with you and you know, you have to download the information from the AIM onto the laptop in their proprietary software, and then you can review it, and it's quite a bit more complicated. Stuff is more in graphs and less video like and graphic like the Catalyst is. The Catalyst actually shows you motion. I'm a very visual person, and data is great, numbers are great, but actually seeing it in motion helps me understand it better, and that's where this really shines, is all that information is in front of you immediately right after a session. So like I mentioned, it wasn't really saying anything to me during that session, I think because every lap was getting faster and faster, so it was just letting me do my thing. But I still absolutely have opportunities there. Once I get a little more comfortable out on track, on this track, and with the car on this track, I'm sure there's going to be other opportunities that are there as well. So very exciting. It's an awesome tool. So far it's been great. And to tell you the truth, although the AIM Solo doesn't fulfill the same purpose as this device does, this is good enough by itself that I almost don't even need the AIM Solo. So this might be the last time I'll be using the AIM, to tell you the truth. I mean, this really takes care of everything that I need. So we're gonna get ready for session 2. We'll head out and see if we can improve. Session 2 is done. I'm all smiles because I got to my 152.77 on a track I've never been on before, that is totally scary because of the magnetic walls. I'm excited. And having said that, I know this car, the way it is currently built, is absolutely capable of sub 150. Now here we go again, right? Because Laguna Seca is always the sub 140. I think the glass ceiling here is a sub 150. So car definitely has it in there. I know where I'm leaving time, especially thanks to my Garmin Catalyst. And I know where I can improve. You know, it's like, it's just getting more familiar with the course and how my car reacts in certain turns. And quite frankly, every road course has got points where you just have to grow some balls and fucking send it, right? So session 2 is done. Now here's what I'll say. One thing I've noticed about the Garmin Catalyst is I haven't been able to utilize its on-the-fly coaching. The reason being is because when you're tracking, you have to have both your windows down, passenger and driver side. And you cannot hear anything over the wind noise, over the exhaust, and just concentrating on what you're doing. You can't hear a damn thing. So far what I've been using it as is a lap timer and analyzing my lap and opportunities after the session is done, which is fantastic. That's still by far and away far more useful to me than the AIM Solo, which you have to bring a laptop for, and you actually have to have some technical acuity to really figure out how to use that thing, which has been actually kind of a frustrating point for me with the Solo. So I need to figure out a Bluetooth headset setup for my helmet so I can then hook up the Catalyst to my helmet and then have in-ear communication, because that will be absolutely key moving forward. So being that I'm over at Sonoma Raceway and they have Wine Country Motorsports here, which is where I get a lot of my race gear from anyways, this is a dangerous proposition, but I think I might need a new helmet. Stay tuned. All right, so fired up, hit review, last session. Okay, there it is, 152.78, theoretical best of 151.96. So market improvement over last time. 3 opportunities, some in the same place, some in different places. So it looks like I improved turn 6 with the carousel. Hairpin, I'm still losing some time there. Looks like turn 2 I'm doing a little better, although I know I'm still leaving some time there. So that's the thing with this. It's not comparing opportunities for me compared to what Michael Schumacher would do, because that's totally unrealistic. It's all based on my skill level and what I'm doing with the car. So it's analyzing my lap times, how I'm negotiating turns, and then it's giving me advice based on that, which is perfect. So the Catalyst grows with you, but it also trains you based on your current level of skill. So let's just take one quick look at one of the opportunities here. All right, so this is the hairpin, and just based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like I can start turning in a little bit sooner and stay closer in. Don't track out quite as far, pull in so I can get set up for the straightaway. Kind of hard to see that there, but super cool. And there's a lot more information here. Again, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that, but just know that this is an invaluable tool that I'm sure I'm going to be learning a lot from. So the voice commands are great if you have the correct environment for it. I tried hooking it up to my car speakers with Bluetooth, and I couldn't do it because the Honda Bluetooth system is garbage. It's absolute trash. It disconnects all the time, which is exactly the reason why I disconnected the Honda Flash Pro, because that hooks up with Bluetooth and I have my gauges on the screen. If you guys recall, I no longer use the gauges on the screen because it works via Bluetooth and it disconnects all the time. So completely unreliable. To get around the gauges on the screen, I got the mechanical gauges on my dash. I'm having problems connecting the Garmin Catalyst via Bluetooth to my car. So instead of compounding the problem, I'm just gonna get an extension cord, get a pair of headsets that I can put inside of my helmet, and just do it that way. It should be plenty fine. So anyways, super happy. See if we can't do better. Oh, I should also note that I'm really happy about is last session I got my PB when I had a check engine light. Now in a Civic Type R, if you get a check engine light, your rev matching disables. So this already
the S2000 that I now have, already that car is teaching me how to be a better driver, because you have to manually heel toe in the S2000 to drive it well and at the limit. I didn't necessarily have to heel toe in the Civic Type R because it did it for me, but because of last session when I had the check engine light, the rev matching disabled. This is deep into the session. Tires are greasy, rev matching is off. I had to do everything manually. I didn't lose any power, but it wasn't rev matching for me anymore. So I was heel toeing manually, and I was forced to be smoother because my tires were now greasy, and that's when I got my PB. So here's a lesson for me that I learned today, and a lesson for all of you if you're tracking. You don't have to have the newest of everything. Not everything has to be super fresh for you to learn. You can learn no matter what condition your car is in, as long as it's safe, of course. Address all the safety stuff, but assuming all the safety stuff is addressed, tires that aren't absolutely fresh are not necessarily a bad thing. There's things to learn from that. It's kind of like if the track was a little bit wet because it rained a little bit, it forces you to be a lot smoother. And a lot of people, including myself, have experienced personal best when the track is a little bit damp, because it forced me to be a little bit smoother. So anyways, super stoked, waiting for session 3. We'll head back out and see if we can't do better. Session 3 done, and I almost didn't even realize that I was supposed to be out for my session. But check this out. That's right outside my garage window. So cool. If they made a hotel like this somewhere at some crazy racetrack that I could race on, and there's a hotel room right next to the track like this, I might stay there. But anyway, session 3 went great. Did not get a new PB. I got a low 153, which is better than my first session, but not better than my second. My theoretical low lap is lower this last session than it has been all day so far, so I'm improving. I'm definitely improving. There's spots where because my tires are definitely a little more worn now. You know, they're getting greasy a lot faster. So there are braking points where I have to brake a lot sooner than I have been to negotiate the turn and then come out strong, and I'm just braking a little bit too late in some of those turns. Then I'm having to scrub too much speed, and then I'm a little slower coming out of the turn than I normally would, and there's my loss of time. So definitely improving. I'm still overall super thrilled with the 152, especially being out here for the first time. We're gonna go have lunch now, and then we got session 4 and 5. So long day, lots of fun. Let's go. So I did a thing. I swear I wasn't gonna do this, but I did. So yeah, I got a new helmet. So there's my old HJC. I mean, it's old meaning like a year and a half. Seemed pretty good use. There it is. Stilo. That's about as nice as they get. Now, I didn't get the full carbon fiber one, but this is a decent amount lighter than the HJC. Every bit as comfortable, but what's key about this, and kind of what made me pull the trigger today instead of waiting, is that guy right there. So that is an audio port, which then I can use an adapter, which I have. So that plugs into the helmet, which then plugs into that, and then that end plugs into the Garmin Catalyst. So I'm going to finally get turn-by-turn feedback from my Garmin Catalyst today, which I wasn't totally concerned about, but hey, what the heck, when in Rome, right? So we're gonna get ready for our next session. I'm gonna enjoy my new helmet, and we'll see if we can't do better. Session 4 for me is done. I skipped session 4, the actual session 4, well, because I went and bought that helmet, and I figured I'd give my tires a bit of a rest because they are starting to get a little tired. So I did what was essentially session 5, and I pulled off the track early. So with my new helmet, I got it hooked into the Garmin Catalyst, and I couldn't hear any voice coaching. Now, I don't know if that's user error. It probably is user error. I turned the volume up as high as it could go. Now, I don't know if there's a volume adjustment on the helmet itself. I don't think there is. And so either there was voice coaching and I couldn't hear it, or there wasn't any voice coaching, in which case I need to figure out what's going on. So anyways, 153 again, high 153. Theoretical best was low 151. So again, theoretical best is getting better. My lap times are not. It's gotten to the point now where it is too warm out there. The tires get greasy way too fast. You know, and I'm just not able to brake as late and turn in with more confidence and get on the gas sooner. All the things you need to have a fast lap with how hot it is and how greasy the tires are getting. So that's fine. That's fine. I want more seat time. I think I'll still do the last session, but it's going to be more of like just a learning thing, you know, get more used to the track, more seat time, more time learning the track, and it's all good. I don't expect to do better than my 152, but I'm super happy about it. Now, although I'm having some kind of malfunction with the voice coaching on the Catalyst, I cannot emphasize enough just how much of a game changer the Garmin Catalyst is for me and for the industry. I mean, a lot of pros have started picking up the Garmin Catalyst too, and it is just, it's perfect. It's virtually idiot proof, which is perfect for me. A couple button operation, it's perfect. So we're gonna wait for the last session. I don't suspect I'm gonna do any better unless it gets a lot cooler out. Now, talking about cooling, zero overheating issues at all. It is really warm today, but the difference with Sonoma is you don't have a lot of long straightaways uphill like you do in Laguna Seca. So if this same track day was at Laguna Seca, I would 100% be overheating right now, but you don't have the same challenges here as you have at Laguna. This is much more of a technical and momentum track. There's a lot of switchbacks and S's and hairpins. It's definitely more driver oriented in that it keeps your attention the whole way through the lap. There's absolutely no time to doze off. So very fun track. We're waiting for the last session. We'll head out and see what we can do. Holy crap, I am so lucky I didn't go out for the last session, because I had no idea this is what was going on with my tires. Completely delaminated down to the cord. If I went out there for another session, these things would have exploded on me. And this is not the racetrack you want exploding tires on. Oh my God. All right, so I was planning on going out the final session, and I decided not to for a couple of reasons. It's gotten hotter out here. My times weren't gonna get any better. Even though I could have used the extra seat time, what I wanted to also do is, since I'm right next to the shop where I got my Garmin Catalyst and my new helmet, I was having problems in the last session getting enough volume in this to my helmet. So we tried a bunch of different stuff. It was almost completely inaudible, like I mentioned to you guys a few minutes ago. And we came up with what we think is a solution, but we really don't know, because I don't have Nobody has a 3.5 auxiliary port. So long story short, what we think is going to fix the low audible sound into the helmet from the Catalyst is getting one of these, an adapter cable. This plugs into the Stilo helmet, and then the other end plugs into basically a sound amplifier. Now this is one that I got that they had there in the store, and then this amplifies the sound coming out of the Garmin Catalyst, but you need a 3.5-inch auxiliary cord to plug in from the Catalyst into the sound amplifier. So no way for me to test it, at least not until I get a 3.5-inch auxiliary cord with double-ended 3.5 millimeter plugs. So anyways, a little bit anticlimactic, but couldn't be happier about the outcome and the track day, and everything about my experience here at Sonoma has been absolutely wonderful. Had, you know, from the facilities to the garage to the people to the venue, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and I can't say enough about this track. I highly recommend it. If you're getting into tracking, definitely come and do Sonoma at some point, but don't make it your first track. This is not a beginner track. There's a ton of blind turns, and there's a lot of trust in both you, the car, and your senses that you have to rely on to put down a decent lap time here. And even if you're not putting down a decent lap time, you need all those working just to make sure that you don't miss a turn, go off the track, and go into a wall, because walls are very close to the berm on this track. So anyways, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was educational for you with the new Garmin Catalyst. You're going to be seeing that in my video a lot more. I'm kind of the guinea pig in this sense, you know. I'm trying to figure out how it's going to work with the car and with the helmet and all this different stuff, and see how it's really going to improve my lap time. So fantastic tool, can't wait to use it more. That's it for today. Until next time, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxi, and I'm out.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends I won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not setting out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They don't work.